All right, well, happy Saturday, Central Georgia, and it is a warm start to Saturday. We're going to talk a little bit more about what you can expect for the rest of the day. There's not a ton in the forecast, so this may be a little bit of a quick one, but we are going to talk about the storm chances that we have for the afternoon and then kind of just the same summertime thing that you've been seeing for the past couple of days or so. And as always, that means that we start off by taking a look at where things stand right now with the Skycam. So let's flip on over to, it looks like we have downtown Dublin pulled up right now, and it's a pretty cloudy start to the day, especially here in Dublin. But I'm imagining, because the buildings are all lit up and you can see the street as well, that there actually may be some peaks of sun happening there, and I can almost see a little bit of sunshine just below the little live flag on the screen there. So the sun is trying to peek out today, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited about that because I do miss seeing the sunshine this morning. Let's take a look at downtown Macon, a pretty similar sight, maybe not quite as many peaks of sun, but I don't think that means that downtown Macon is not going to see the sun today. I just think they're sitting under a little more cloud cover this morning. And if we flip over to Perry, you could probably guess, but we'll see a similar sight, but you do actually see the sun peeking through there. So it was a pretty solid blanket of clouds this morning, and now you can see the sun's trying to clear things up just a little bit here. We'll probably still deal with some cloud cover throughout the day today, but like I said, you have a chance to see the sunshine, especially as we head into the afternoon. You may just have to deal with the showers that potentially will bring. So you saw Perry, and there's Warner Robins showing again the same kind of picture here. There's not too much of a difference going on in the forecast from area to area. Everybody will kind of be sitting under similar conditions as we head into the rest of the day. So let's talk about the numbers. Right now, it is again a warm start to the day. I said this to Freeha this morning on the morning show, but I was being serious. Every morning when I step out the door, especially for this shift because it's so early in the morning, it catches me off guard how warm it already is. We've started most mornings off in the low 70s, and now you can see almost uniformly at 81 in kind of our northeastern counties here. Then down further towards the south, a few warmer spots: Vidalia 84, Rochelle 83, Cordele 82, and then generally a touch warmer towards the northwest. Things are still hanging out in the upper 70s, but they will find the 80s before too long. So what about the mugginess? Well, that is plenty to be found here. You can see dark green categories all across the entire map here. It's upper 70s, which, to give you some perspective, and I think I've said this before, a high dew point value would be somewhere in the 70s. So to see a value like 80, like you're seeing down here in Unadilla and Cordele, that means things are just really probably up to that oppressive category in terms of the mugginess down there. So really muggy air, and there's plenty of that to be had here. And as I'm sure you can imagine, that has the feels like numbers already up a really good amount. So everybody basically, besides looking like Thomaston over in Upson County, is already feeling at least in the mid to upper 80s. But again, when you start looking where those dew point values were a lot higher down towards places like Crisp and Dooley counties, the feels like numbers already in the mid 90s. So really warm start to the day in our southern counties. And again, it will start to feel like the 90s before too long for everybody else. Not much of a breeze out there to kind of help things cool down. The good news is, and the reason that I even threw this graphic in there was, one, to show you it's not too gusty out there today. There's a little bit of a light breeze, so hopefully that helps not make the air feel so stale. But as we head into the afternoon and evening, when those rain chances start to return, and this is something that I noticed when I was out for live shots yesterday in Byron, the breeze that comes off of some of these storms, if you can get that in your area, you know, some of those outflow boundaries, or just generally some of the breeze rolling in from the rain cooled air, that will really help. So I kind of just threw this on there to bring it to your attention that maybe later today when you have some showers and storms, that might actually help the way things feel outside. So what about the story for the day, to just kind of wrap it in a big bow? It's honestly the exact same thing that you saw yesterday, that you saw the day before, and the day before that. And spoiler alert, before we get too far into the forecast, that's going to be the same thing for the next 7 days, at least how it stands right now. So this is a pattern that you're going to get really familiar with. You probably are fairly familiar with at this point, and we're just going to keep rocking with it for a little bit longer. So that means that it's a mostly dry morning. If you got outdoor plans, this is the time frame to go ahead and get out and get those things done. And for the early afternoon, hopefully not too many showers, but then as we head into the late afternoon and the evening, showers and a couple of occasional storms. That becomes the big story outside. You probably heard a couple of those storms yesterday. They've had some gusty winds from time to time, definitely some thunder and lightning. But luckily, we've been below severe criteria for the past few days, and I think it's going to keep staying that way for the next few days. So what about the number? Well, like I said, we're going to stay in the 80s today, so actually not so bad. But with the heat and humidity, it's going to feel a whole lot warmer than that. The heat index will drive more closer to the mid-90s for Macon and probably close to triple digits for other areas. So let's look at the satellite radar here. And where things stand, you can probably pick out where your eye gets drawn to the most. Probably this area right here heading into Mississippi from southern Tennessee there. That, if you're curious, is going to push into our area from that direction, but actually it's going to start to fall apart before it really gets to us. So nothing organized coming our way from Mississippi here, and you can already see it transitioning a lot to a light rain as it pushes further there. What's really going to be the driver for our activity today is the same thing that's been the driver for the past couple of days. It's all of this sea breeze that you see down here already spurring up a couple of thunderstorms on the panhandle. We have a very southerly direction to our flow right now, which is actually something I meant to point out on the current conditions map. We just continue to have Gulf moisture filter into our area, and you can already tell that that's beginning to spur up a couple of light showers in our area right now. So take a look as the clouds have begun to part just a little bit here, and we got a little bit of daytime heating. Take a look at how these pop-up showers have already begun. Now I imagine right now we're just talking about light rain, maybe sprinkles in a couple of areas, and you can see how small these are. In fact, let's go ahead and take the clouds away and still the radar. These are very, very, very small areas of showers at the moment, so probably not covering a great area. In fact, it may be raining in your yard and not in your neighbor's yard. I kind of love to say that because that really emphasizes the summertime pattern. So one like just over Cadwell here, one towards Eastman, and then again just a couple of these spurring up towards our southernmost counties as they're closer to the Gulf. So they get the moisture first, and then eventually this pattern will kind of persist as it heads further towards our northern counties. This is again nothing new. This is the same pattern that we've been under for several days, and the showers will begin to get more widespread as we head into the afternoon and the evening. But this is a look at where rainfall totals stand as of the last 5 days. I would go out on a limb here and say we don't necessarily need more rain. You can see we already have numbers close to 5 inches up in Washington County, close to 6.5 inches towards Johnson County. Down here in Wheeler County, almost 8 inches of rain in the last 5 days. I think that's our highest number that I have pinpointed here. Yeah, it looks to be. But then in other areas, again, we are close to 6 to 7 inches of rain across our central Georgia area here. So we've had a lot of rain over the past couple of days. The sporadic design that you see here in terms of who's had heavier rain really just depends on who's getting those afternoon pop-up showers and storms, and this will just continue to be the pattern for the next few days. So by next week, we'll probably see some more impressive totals here on the map. It'll be interesting to see how we round out June, which actually tends to be a drier month for us. I think we've gone several days now with having rainfall totals recorded. I think it has been, and give me a second to think of the exact number here, but I believe we went the first 3 days of June without rainfall, and then every day since then, I believe we've had a shower at least. So I'll fact check that, but I'm pretty sure that is the truth. Again, it will be interesting to kind of see how we round out June here. But let's talk a little bit more about the next couple of days. So normally I wouldn't show the absence of an SPC outlook here, but I just think it's important to note, just to kind of show you where things stand, that we really don't have an outlook for today, we don't have one for tomorrow, and then we don't have one for the next day either. So even though we've continued to have some gusty storms, I think occasionally there have been maybe about pea-sized hail in a few of these stronger storms. You've heard a lot of thunder, you've seen a lot of lightning. It's not really been enough for the SPC to flag us for a level 1, and I don't believe we've had any severe thunderstorm warnings. So again, that's kind of something we'll be on the lookout for just in case one of these storms starts to pick up. But generally, I think we'll continue to stay kind of below that limit for the next few days. This really just is going to be the same thing, rinse and repeat. I kind of feel like a broken record, but hopefully that emphasizes to you that the story is just staying the same for the next couple of days. So let's look at the future view then here. By the time we get to the afternoon, that's when this will start to become a lot more widespread. So right now you're seeing a couple sprinkles out there at most, but most places are staying mostly dry. Again, by the afternoon and evening, this will start to become a little more widespread just in terms of there's going to be a lot more numerous showers out there, and the coverage may be a little bit better on some of those, but it's still the pop-up thing. They pop up and then they pop back down. You may get another one, but they shouldn't generally travel into a certain direction, except there may be a general trend from south to north because of the way that the flow is moving here. And you can see that just kind of continues throughout the late afternoon into the evening. Now remember earlier I mentioned that area out there in Mississippi right now would try to come our direction. That's what the graph is picking up on right here. But it really, just watch as I play this forward, fizzles out before it gets to us. So we're not expecting to see any impacts from this line. I'll show you that here. Really just kind of drops off. We're talking about maybe light showers at most in kind of our northern counties, but it generally just kind of plays into the pop-up shower and storm situation that we have going on. So could you guess what the situation is going to be for Father's Day? I bet you could. It's going to be the exact same thing. So if you've got outdoor plans with your dad, maybe you want to fire up the grill, or you have a tea time scheduled, or you just want to spend some time outdoors. Maybe if you're like my dad, you want to do some yard work and maybe you want to help out your dad. The morning time is going to be the best time to do that. So you want to make sure that you're getting during the dry time of day. That is going to be the morning like you're seeing now, because as we head into the afternoon, the same kind of thing returns to us here. That summertime afternoon shower and storm pattern, all that flow coming in from the southwest sticks with us. So we still continue to deal with that. It may look like on this graph run, the coverage of these showers and storms may not be quite as good. We'll see if that really is the truth. I'll say the HRRR model has a bit more coverage, more like what you're seeing for what we have today. We'll see. I would love for maybe some lighter coverage in terms of a few of these showers, but I could still see us having another day like the past couple of days. So that's what I would plan for. And then if you end up being a little drier, that'd be great news. So again, not a total washout. I do want to emphasize that too, and you've probably felt that. I ended up bringing umbrellas and rain jackets to everything that I went to yesterday, and I didn't even catch a single shower. So if you have outdoor plans and you're a little worried about that, just have a backup plan, and then also having a rain jacket or an umbrella, because you may just have to duck and dodge, head inside for a few minutes, and then you may be able to step back outside. It's just going to be a little bit of a touch and go. Having a radar is going to be a great way to pay attention to that. And then of course, we also have, which is what you're watching right now, our 13 WMAZ Plus stream, which has live radar 24/7. So you can also use that as your radar tool. So that will be the story throughout the afternoon and evening Sunday. And then, not to sound like a broken record, but it's going to be the same story for Monday too. Clear morning. And then by the time we hit the heat of the day, the pop-up showers and storms, they will return. So not much change on the horizon here. And I know that's actually something we would like to see. And if we flip over to the long range models, you're going to see the same thing here. I know this looks like a lot more than it actually is. This looks like it's going to be a total washout every day. This, what you see on the long range models here, is the afternoon pop-up shower and storm situation here. Long range models, which just for a piece of model information, are lower resolution because they're meant to cover basically the entire United States. But short range models like the graph, like the HRRR, what we just used a few seconds ago that you just saw behind me, those are higher resolution because they work on a smaller scale. So they don't tend to usually be so specific about location or about coverage. This just really means that same afternoon shower, pop-up and storm Tuesday, same afternoon showers and pop-up storms Wednesday, Thursday. You get the idea. It really just continues with us through the next 7 days likely. Maybe potentially a little bit of change for next weekend, but I would expect that we're going to see the same kind of thing because of this map here. This is going to be the most important piece to the story here. I didn't add any pause points because I just wanted you to see that there's not a lot of change. That's why I didn't add any pause points. The flow keeps coming in from the Gulf. We keep getting southwesterly flow. As long as we keep getting southwesterly flow, we're going to continue to filter in moisture from the Gulf, and that will keep the dark green in our area. As long as we have that, we have the moisture, and we've got plenty of sunshine because we are in June to keep having these pop-up showers and storms, and we're extra aided by the fact that we do have a little bit of a sea breeze coming up from Florida as well. So that map goes all the way through Tuesday, which means you can expect to see the same kind of thing all the way through at least Tuesday. But when I flip over to the 7-day forecast, you're going to see I've gone with this pattern sticking with us beyond that. It's a 40% chance every single day. So what does 40% mean to me? That means that there is about a 40% coverage of the area. So probably 40% of our region will see some showers and storms throughout the afternoon and evening today, tomorrow, and then all the way through next week as well. I'll look for a silver lining on the 7-day, and I was about to say it kind of holds our temperatures steady, so we'll be in the upper 80s and low 90s. And that is good because we're right around where we should be for this time of year. Nothing too crazy, no mid 90s on the board, which we'll definitely take. But unfortunately, the caveat with that is that with how much moisture we still have, it'll be feeling a lot warmer than that over the next couple of days. So the heat indices will be back in the upper 90s, probably near triple digits on a few of those days as well. But okay, now I think of my silver lining. I've got it. None of these days are a total wash, so you should still have the chance to enjoy outdoor plans when you have them. Again, just kind of having a contingency plan. I know that I have plans tomorrow at an outdoor place, so my contingency plan is I gotta watch the radar throughout the afternoon and see how things are looking, and I just want to make sure that the place I'm going to has covering I can duck under if I need it. That's really all you gotta do for the next couple of days. Other than that, it should be still a good chance to get outside if you can brave the heat. So bring some water, and then if you can have an umbrella or something on you, that'll be the best course of action for the next week or so, and you should still be able to enjoy our June months here. So that's about it for the forecast right now. Again, this will be the pattern for some time, so you can expect the same kind of thing for Father's Day and then also for the upcoming week as well. Of course, we'll be watching in case any of these storms do try to get a little gusty, but I'm really not expecting severe weather chances for today or for tomorrow either. So hopefully you're able to enjoy your holiday weekend, celebrate the fathers or father figures in your life, and I hope you have a great weekend and are just able to kind of duck and dodge these showers and storms. Of course, meteorologist David Guerrero will be back in here tonight, and I will see you once again tomorrow for 13 WMAZ Weekend Morning. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great Saturday.